What's going on, Swoopers? Welcome back to another sporadic episode of Swoop Luke. A lot to talk about in this episode, fixture-wise, so let's just roll that intro and jump straight into it. So if you're new to my channel, hi, thanks for returning. Thank you for listening to all my BS that's about to be spat from this mouth. And if you're new, hi, welcome. Please subscribe if you like what I'm putting out, if you like the content. Be plenty more during the off season, but not too much that it gets boring and dull. So let's just talk about these fixtures. It was a big fixture week. The preseason fixture came out, AFLW's fixture came out, and of course the AFL fixture came out just yesterday. So let's jump into it. Let's break it up, see who we're playing, both sides, and let's start with the preseason tournament. So to begin our preseason tournament, the MARSH Community Series, we verse Richmond and St Kilda. These games take place early March. Our first one on the 1st of March against Richmond. Bit of an away trip. We're going all the way up to Wangaratta. Should be a really good game. Reigning premiers. Obviously, no one's going to be playing their super best football. But it's still the reigning premier, so everyone's still going to take this game as seriously as you can for a community shield game, pretty much. And the second game against an up-and-coming St Kilda who just absolutely dominated the trade period. So I think that they will be bringing in a lot of their players that they brought in. You'll definitely be seeing Brad Hill, Zach Jones and all those dudes. They'll be playing. That'll be a good game. The second JLT game is when it starts to get a little bit more serious, or more so than the first game. That's on the 8th of March. So they're our two preseason games. Get a showing of the new kids, you know, Quaynor as well, Tyler Brown, Dane Beams if he's back hopefully, and of course some of the draftees. So now for the AFLW fixture. After the big huff-uff, you know, for lack of a better term, because I really can't think of any better term than huff-uff, with this CBA being agreed to, 98% of the players ticked it off, so which is good. We finally got the fixture, and Collingwood is in Conference B. Yes, they're still doing conferences. 14 teams still doing conferences. I don't understand it, but it is what it is. And once the game expands, more teams come in. Hopefully, we get rid of this conference system, and it's an actual ladder. But let's look at the fixture. So we play 8 games. 3 games at Vic Park, the home of the Magpies. It's going to be great to go down there. I personally haven't been to Vic Park when we've played a match there, so I cannot wait to get there. I'll be there for, you know, hopefully all the games, but definitely that West Coast game who we kick off the season against. I think the girls are going to do really well. I think the momentum from the VFLW the VFLW Premiership win will just move into or merge with the AFLW team. So, you know, credit to the AFL with this fixture. They have given us in our conference and in our fixture some big Melbourne teams. We've got Carlton, Melbourne and Geelong. You know, we play the Bulldogs and St Kilda as well. But I'm more talking about that rivalry that's there between the men's side, and I'm sure the rivalry is going to be building with the women's side as well. So we play 4 home games, 4 away games. You know, pretty smart. We go up to Perth in round 3 for Freo. And round 8 finishes with an away trip to Geelong. I'm just looking at the fixtures on my phone at the moment, and I don't know if this is right or maybe I don't think I've seen it posted anywhere, but it looks like that Sunday, March 8 at 1:10 in Morwell we verse the Bulldogs, but then at let me get it up. On Sunday, March 8th at 3:50 in Morwell, our AFL men's team versus St Kilda. So it's looking like that'll be a double header. So if you can, get down there, watch the girls, and then watch the guys. So 2 for the price of fun. Am I right, guys? Fuck me. So like I said, our AFLW season kicks off on February the 8th against West Coast. So get down there, support the girls, support this expanding competition. It's been around for a couple of years now. It's starting to gain a bit more traction. 4 new teams, there's 14 teams as a whole, and it's just going to be great to see. It's just, I'm a real backer of this game. I can't wait to be there at as many games as I can. So now let's talk about the 2020 AFL men's fixture that just came out yesterday, hot off the press. I'm not going to go week by week. You can just look at the fixture yourself. I'm not going to give commentary on every single one, so you don't have to fast forward or bear with me while I dribble on about all these fixtures. We start our season March 20 against the Doggies, primetime Friday night at Marvel Stadium. I don't know why we open at Marvel. I know it's not our home game, but, you know, still, versing the Doggies at Marvel Stadium to kick off the round, that's going to be great. Top 8 from last year. They were one of the best midfielders in the competition, and, you know, can't wait to verse them. Hopefully, you know, Grundy dominates again like he did in the last 2 games, but the Doggies are always able to give us a scare. Our first 6 rounds look, on paper, they look pretty difficult. We get the Bulldogs, Richmond round 2, Hawthorn, the Lions up at the Gabba for Easter Thursday, which is, you know, great for the Lions, that prime time, and we've locked it in for the next 2 seasons, I'm pretty sure. Port Adelaide down here. We actually don't travel to Adelaide at all this season, which is good. Sorry to all my Adelaidean swoopers if you're watching this, but that's good. You know, we'll bring the intensity here as opposed to going up there, you know, with their cauldron and stuff. And then round 6, Anzac Day against the Bombers in that 4:20 twilight game. It's the change of time that everyone's been talking about. People have been saying that it's like a prelude to what we could expect in the grand final later on this year, later on next year, But I actually don't mind it. 4:20, I am a backer of the nighttime grand final or twilight grand final. But a 4:20 start, it's going to be different, non-traditional, but it's going to be a great contest. There's still going to be 98,000 people there, so it's got to be a good one, and we just got to get behind this new, not initiative, but this new time. One thing I don't like about this fixture is that we have to play games at Marvel Stadium. Obviously, biggest club in the land, have to play games there. But we play 3 games there, Bulldogs, St Kilda, North Melbourne. We verse St Kilda and North Melbourne there as our home game. I know we're contracted to play home games at Marvel, but I don't feel like we should be playing home games against teams that have Marvel as their home, as St Kilda and North Melbourne do. What I mean is, yeah, okay, I'm cool to play games at Marvel Stadium, but I don't want to verse teams that have Marvel as their home. Give me a Port Adelaide there, like last year, I'm pretty sure, and give me a Gold Coast there, you know. But it is what it is. 3 games at 3 games at Marvel Stadium. 2 home games there against St Kilda and North Melbourne. Another thing that I don't like about this fixture is that we only verse Carlton once. Our biggest rivals, versing them once, it's just, okay, they haven't been good for the last couple of years, and I understand that, you know, Richmond is more of a rival to us, West Coast, you know, the Lions, I guess. But Carlton on Sunday at 1:10, pretty sure that's what it was similar to this season. Just don't understand it. Give us a home and away, even though we both play at the MCG. But, you know, just for the supporters as well, if you lose, you want redemption. You don't want to have to wait till the next season to get that redemption. After the bye, we play Sydney. Hold on to your seats, hold on to your hats. We play Sydney in Sydney. Jeez. Let me tell you, that one took me by surprise. We haven't versed Sydney in Melbourne since 2013. Sure, we got pumped in 2013, but we haven't versed them since 2013. Don't really understand it, but, you know, I guess Sydney just wants the best club up there, and obviously we're happy to oblige, even though, you know, there's been a lot of backlash, but, you know, what can you do? Things like this happen all the time in the fixture, so you just got to take it, you know, on the chin. We travel 5 times next season. 2 of the main times that we're travelling, round 19 against Freo at Optus Stadium, and then again round 22 against West Coast at Optus Stadium. So 2 Perth trips, not ideal in the last 6 weeks, but, you know, you can't complain about it because these teams are travelling down here to play and stuff. But just a bit unusual for, especially a club like Collingwood, to play 2 games so close to each other. Both at Perth as well, but we do verse West Coast twice. We get them once at home and once away, so it's only fair. So all in all, our breakdown looks like this. 5 interstate games, 3 Thursday night games, 5 Friday night games, 14 games at the MCG, and 3 Marvel games. And a bunch of Saturdays thrown in there as well. And a couple of Sundays thrown in there for, you know, good measure. Overall, I give our fixture a B+. Not the best, definitely not the worst. I just don't like those Perth travelling, like Sydney and Sydney, home games at Marvel, which I don't mind, but against Marvel home teams, doesn't make any sense to me. But it is what it is. Hard fixture, easy fixture, fixture in the middle, doesn't really matter. Every game you play to win, every game is hard anyway. There's no games where another team is just going to roll over and let you, walk all over the top of them. So, I don't really buy into that hard and easy fixture. But that's been all the fixtures. I don't buy into easy fixture or a hard fixture. You play what you're given. I guess in terms of a hard fixture is if you're travelling consecutive weeks or if you verse the top 14 from the previous season in, the first 5 weeks. Easy fixture doesn't really make sense either. I guess you don't double up on hard teams. You probably double up on teams that are in the bottom 4, in the bottom 6. But in my honest opinion, the only way that a fixture will be fair is if we verse each other twice, home and away. Just like they do in every single soccer league. The A-League do it 3 times. I think they verse each other 3 times. But the EPL, they're versing each other twice, and they're playing with rests of 3 or 4. It's not as physical as football is, no tackling and stuff, but they're still running 16, 17, 18 kilometers a game, sometimes up to 20 Ks a game. So it is a big task for them to keep doubling up, plus they've got Champions League, other cup games. Sometimes they're playing 4 games in a week, or 3 or 4 games in a week. So I don't think that 2 games home and away against each team is out of the question. And now they're calling for only 17 games. It's just ridiculous. To be fair, it should be you verse each team home and away. But like I said, we have been blessed with a lot of primetime slots. I think the second most in the league, of course, biggest club in the land. And I think this fixture is really going to boost us as a great finals contender again. I think we have the right personnel, have to get those injuries right. But this fixture looks chef kiss. It looks perfect. Thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm 6 subscribers away from 400. It would mean a lot if I could get that before Christmas. But as always, tell your family, tell your friends, tell your pets. And until next time, double shackers. I'll swoop you later. So our 2-game, what is it called? The MARSH community. What the fuck? Wasn't it JLT? Anyway. Alright. Fuck, that was loud. Oh, I guess everyone gets 11 home games. Oh, fucking, I'm just dumb. I think I'm just dumb.